really long game, you can broadcast the entire thing. Well, good morning. Hi. Is it still morning? Yes, it is still morning. Good morning, and thank you for watching this Speaker's Corner edition for the last of 2014. We have a condensed cast, but we have really fortified this cast to be exactly what we need to produce. So let me go ahead and, without too much ado, get you introduced to those whom we'll be enjoying our time together with. So I am Jeff Wheeler. I'm here in downtown and lovely Atlanta, Georgia. And let me introduce to you Michelle Lynch from Gainesville, Florida.
We just eked in right before noon. So yes, good morning from Gainesville, Florida. Our two other companions that are usually with us on this journey are doing their holiday things this week. And we're right in the middle of the two holidays right now.
Yes.
And I'm glad to be here. And I know for both of us it was a little bit of a push because, you know, we like to enjoy our holidays to get.
That's right. And it's about time away from what you normally do. And the holidays gives kind of most every American an opportunity to act like a European for a week. We all kind of have to take off some time and nothing really gets done, and maybe that's something we should talk about is how holidays are observed here in the United States versus the way that they're observed in other places.
Most definitely. I like how you said that we get to feel like a European for a week, where the Europeans will get like a month.
Yeah. They get all of August, and we get like the week between New Year's and Christmas to act like we're European.
This is our week. This is our week to go and adventure and go on whatever kind of long weekend trip we can figure out.
That's right. But most of us cram in a bunch of stuff that we don't generally like. Have you ever noticed how many people do stuff they don't normally do or don't normally enjoy over the Christmas holidays?
I used to do that. And I do watch my friends, and I have a saying that I repeat over and over again, that their pain is self-chosen.
Mm-hmm.
But you might need to do it every year just so that you stay in the good graces of family members. And
I guess that would be my plea to those out there who might be listening. If you don't enjoy, and your group that you do holiday with doesn't enjoy being together, why do we battle so hard to rat race ourselves into this thing that is prescribed for us to go do? Right?
Right.
I had a bunch of people over for Christmas time, and I'll tell you, I really enjoyed the crew and the way that it was for about 75% of what went on. Right?
That sounds about right. Okay. Actually, it sounds a little high.
It was high. It was good. It was good. It was a good holiday.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of work involved, and there was a lot of preparation involved. There was a lot of things you got to do to get Christmas dinner on the table and to get all of these people with their varied schedules to just do the thing. But I have spent many other times and many other circumstances with other crews and groups, and from time to time, it feels like it is a labor to do the thing, and nobody really walks away feeling good about anything. And this whole gift giving thing that we have as Americans, and we try so hard to get exactly the right thing, and we try so hard to make sure that everybody has something to open. And maybe I'm just speaking for myself here, but I make enough money that if I really need something, I'm gonna go get it, right?
Yeah.
So my thought is, if you want to get me a Christmas gift, it should be from you. It shouldn't be me placing an order in November that you go out and purchase from whatever vendor and then wrap in a box and give to me that I've already told you what I want.
That said, I think there is one exception, if not two exceptions to this.
Okay, go ahead.
One being little children.
Yes.
Little children need help.
Yes.
But whatever they pick is usually much better than what you could tell them. And then the other being parents. I think parents need help. As their child gets older, they could get you something that they think is like you, but especially if your parents live far away from you, they may not know. So in that case, they may want to get a suggestion. My dad always asks for a list, and I usually give him an Amazon list or something that he can then choose from there to get a general vein of what my current interests are.
Well, okay, and so let's go down that for a minute. So in our modern world, with Pinterest, with Amazon lists, with Amazon wish lists, with all of these things on the social cloud, if you will, right?
Sure.
I can see somebody going to your Pinterest account and seeing the kinds of things you like and the kinds of things that you have interest in, and then picking a gift in that vein. Totally get it. But the whole, hey, what should I get you for Christmas? Even if somebody is, a parent, as long as the two individuals involved are 18 or really 16 or greater, you ought to be able to just make a gift for somebody, because that's what it is, a gift, right?
Yeah.
So a gift should be from the person that gives to the person that it's given to, with some interest in mind of both individuals. It shouldn't just be a, hey, I want this, why don't you go buy it for me? But, that being said, there's a lot of people out there who aren't very good at this gift-giving thing, or feel heavy burden by having to figure out what to give people. So, I don't know.
I don't know. In 2015, I might take on. I like to do little. Well, not little. Last time I did one of these. What happens at the beginning of the year when you have New Year's resolutions?
Yes.
I had a New Year's resolution 2 years ago to wear more makeup. Well, perhaps this year one of my New Year's resolutions might be to give people gifts that please me. In so much that I'm the one giving.
That's correct.
Gift.
That's right.
And maybe something that I enjoy that maybe I think they might enjoy.
And to me, that is the essence of what a gift should be.
Yes.
It should not be what that person wants. And, there's exceptions to every rule, but the general gist should not be that person trying to figure out something that they want, because then that's a burden to the person getting a gift, right? You now have to figure something that you want to get. Oh, it looks like we may have Thom joining in for a few moments.
At least he's possibly wanting to listen. I did not send out a link, so sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay.
I will, though. Okay.
But to me, it should be what you just described. It is something that you think is nice, that you think someone else may like. And I find the most joy from those, and from disposable toys. That's the other thing that I really find lots of joy from at Christmas time.
Like silly putty?
That's what my parents got. My parents both got pieces of silly putty. And it's not like it's something swanky or fancy, or really getting them, something that's amazing, but it is just a little piece of happipiness, hopefully, that will last for Christmas morning alone, and then it can be gone. You don't need it again.
Yes. I got, with great fun, I got I think he's 4 or 5-year-old, a gag box with plastic poo in it.
Nice.
That's what you
do. Nice. Plastic poo.
Oh, yeah. It's been great fun. Yes, indeed. What else do you do on Christmas Day? Like, everything is closed. I found Perkins to be open. I went out. I don't cook, so I went out with my dad. And
I just don't. I don't cook.
I prefer
You're not a cooker?
Not to. I prefer not to.
I love cooking.
Get an enjoyment out of it.
I love cooking.
I'm glad there are people that do, and I like watching people cook.
Yeah.
I just don't, the heat and all that. Anyway, so went to Perkins. And then we decided that there was not much else to do. What else do you do on Christmas Day?
So for me, the idea is to not have a lot of things that you're able to do on Christmas Day, right? And you just are around other people that you generally care about, and you hang out, and you do what we did in the 1800s. You sit in the living room and you talk, and you catch up, and you talk about, the issues of the day, or you talk about the the things you wish you had gotten done that year, or plans for something else to do. What we do in my family a lot of times is we create projects.
Oh,
right?
Tell. What do you mean?
So, like, my father was here, and, I've been meaning to produce a bedside table because in where my bed is in my current place is not really wide enough to have a traditional table sit next to my bed. It's really only 10 inches, 9.5 inches wide, so it's very narrow. It's hard to get a table into that space. So my dad and I sat around and figured a way to produce something that would work well for that space, and then proceeded the next day to go out, acquire the equipment, and produce the thing. Made it.
You made your bedside table.
Well, it's a shelf now, right? So I'm utilizing the bed as half of the support, and then I'm utilizing a block on the wall next to it for the other half of the support, and then it's just a custom cutout of a shelf that fits exactly in there. But then that allowed me to get a 12-inch board to fit in that 9.5-inch space, and that gave it a big enough space that I can put my cell phones on it and all that kind of stuff when they're charging. So it makes it a whole lot better product.
Yeah.
You made your bedside table. Now you have to lay in it. Isn't that the expression?
That is exactly the expression. And I would like to thank Thom Holm for joining us. Where are you? Are you in Fishkill or are you in Woodside?
I'm in Fishkill.
Ah, well, welcome from Fishkill.
Sorry.
I appreciate you making the effort to come on in and say hello this morning, with the weather being over you as it is. And anything exciting happened to you on your Christmas endeavors?
In general, or on the day proper?
In general is good enough.
No.
Okay.
Did
Sadly, no.
either of you happen to have watched the interview?
I have not watched the interview. I've heard things about it, and everybody's talking about
I
it.
refused to cave into North Korean demands to watch bad films.
Because the North Koreans are really the ones who are driving this. They're trying to make sure that Kim Jong-un is a household name across this world.
Well, the conspiracy theory is that he actually has shares in Sony, and so he needs to drive up. The expectations with this movie would tank, so he needed to make sure that he didn't lose his pocket money for cognac.
That is very New York to make that up.
I assume from the question, Michelle, that you did see it.
I did not. Not yet. I wanted it to. It was supposed to be released on Christmas Day. In theaters, and my understanding is it's not released in theaters. It is released.
It was in a few theaters.
Okay, it's in a few.
There are a few independent theaters that did carry it.
Okay, fair enough. Not a public mass
release. No, absolutely not.
But on Google, it is now available.
Oh, really?
And YouTube Movies? I don't know what that is. What is YouTube Movies?
YouTube Movies. So you can rent movies from YouTube. You can rent movies from Google. I believe it's like. Don't quote me on this. Never quote anything that you hear on this. Always check us.
That's correct.
$2.99 for rental and $14.99 for purchase.
That's lower than I thought.
So Google Play, you can buy it for $14.99 in HD, or you can rent it for $5.99.
That's what I thought I'd heard the $5.99. Yeah.
I'm still back in 20 years. Okay.
That's at Google Play.
Right. So. My question here is: did we cave in? Did the terrorists win? Do they hate our freedoms?
I think Seth Rogen and James Franco won, and everyone else kind of meh.
You think so? Because I'm not inclined to buy it.
No.
I'm almost not inclined to rent it. Or if I'm going to rent it, I want to gather people around so that he even gets less money.
I think if they had, like we said, I feel like we said a few weeks ago, if Sony had from day one said, we're not going to release in theaters, but we're going to put it online. But we're not going to release in theaters, but we don't know what we're going to do. And everyone's like, oh shit, or get off the pot. Okay, we released it. I'm like, you're too late. Now I feel like you're not caving to North Korea. You're caving to our kind of the fuck, man.
Yeah.
So Sony actually caved to public perception. They didn't cave to North Korea so much as they caved to public perception.
Because that's really who dictates who they are and what they're able to do, you know? Because they live and die by that.
Yeah, and I think there is a
Live and die
disconnect
by
between Sony Pictures and Sony, the major company. They're just not.
I'm watching the trailer, and this is awful.
Is that what you're
It is-
doing? I'm hearing music and noise.
It is
in the background.
every bit of Hollywood, just insanity. Where
Hollywood.
everybody's trying to be serious about, portraying this movie that is just not serious at all.
Not serious at all. Yeah, it would. I'm not sure it's supposed to be taken so seriously.
No, Seth Rogen was high when he made this up.
It got more PR than it deserved to get.
Sure. Yeah.
And we're giving it more right this
Right
moment.
now. I will tell you 2 movies that I did watch this week that surprisingly
it.
hold up. I watched my personal favorite holiday film, which is Scrooged,
Nice.
with Bill Murray.
Nice.
Still works, still great. And one I hadn't seen in years, because I watch Scrooged every year. One I hadn't seen in years, but
Bad
I
Santa.
was like, no, I've never seen Bad Santa, actually. Home Alone.
Oh!
Surprisingly
held up.
holds up. I was
Wow.
shocked. It feels, there's actually, parts that are still funny and kind of
Good.
like,
That's good
I
to
was
hear.
surprised. I was like waiting for this, it's going to be, I think in my mind I have all the sequels and the direct-to-video releases and the whole concept of the child who has to fight people kind of genre. And then when it's like convincing yourself that Rocky sucks because you saw 3, 4, and 5. But it's been a while since you saw the first Rocky,
And then you see the first one, you're like, that's why they made it into a
that's why they
dynasty.
yeah, that movie was good.
Yep.
So it was nice to revisit it. I highly recommend it if you haven't been there for a while. It's not like the Never-Ending Story, which I always tell my friends, if you haven't seen it since you were a kid, don't
again.
see it. It will ruin it for you.
Yep.
You know what was good though? I watched Willow again.
Oh, does that hold up?
enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, that's good to know. We should have a whole segment of things that still hold up
Yes.
Nice.
and things that don't hold up.
I was wearing a
Nice.
Mystery Science Theater 3000 shirt yesterday, and somebody said, "Oh, that's so classic," and I went, "Oh, oh,
That's so high school. Don't call me a classic, whippersnapper.
damn it!"
No, man.
Exactly. Anything else in this time between the years?
What's the biggest takeaway that you're taking with you from 2014 into 2015?
Oh, gosh. there's
Sorry to
something
drop a
big.
huge.
I should have been prepared for this.
Yeah, I didn't.
I think my biggest takeaway is that Ebola and those type of things aren't as scary. Like we have these knee-jerk reactions to most of these diseases, and I think that in the future I'm going to be a little more open to the idea that the world's not going to end, and you don't have to put on face stuff and everything else. So, yeah.
All right, let's see. I'm going to go with the Tesla stuff in that the protectionism in industries is alive, well, and kicking in the United States. And it is doing everything that it can to keep people from innovating. With both Uber and from the car, I guess their dealership, people that do all the car dealership unions together. So hopefully those will fix. But I didn't think those things were such alive and well, but they are. Tom, you have a takeaway?
I like both of yours very much. I would love to take both of those away from you and claim them as my own, but I can't. I think mine's going to be pretty hippy-dippy.
You're
And
always
it's one I'm
hippy-dippy.
taking it into 2015 because I'm curious to see how it goes, which is the points of conversation that are starting to overlap. Disparate ideas that people are starting to say, you know what, there's something that what we're talking about that's connecting to what you're talking about. There's a great New York Times article by actually a cook, Mark Bittman, that talks about that, where people who are talking about police excessiveness or environmental issues or all these things that seemingly were once disparate, and they're starting to say, you know what? There's actually a connection. There's a line of thought that I never saw before. It's not fully realized. It's kind of like Hawking's unified field theorem. We've only got a few of the fields connected. We don't have all 5. Is it 5 fields in the unified?
I know the idea, but
the concept.
Yeah.
So we're not much like Hawking. We're not there yet, but I like that people are starting to kind of look across the table and saying, "Wow, we're maybe we have more connections than we think." And I think maybe that's the as society continues to communicate, and I hope we do communicate more and more across lines, across perspectives. We'll start to see more of those connections.
Yeah.
Peace and love and understanding.
Hippy dippy.
You are pretty hippy dippy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
It's that time of the year where you reflect on things like that.
Right on. Do you have any things that piss Thom off that probably shouldn't?
I guarantee you there's something that pisses me off that probably shouldn't.
There's always
man. Things that, because it's been going on for years, but it's still going to piss me off. There's too many damn bowls.
Yeah.
So much so that, what bowl game is Florida in?
The Nowhereville Bowl? I have no idea.
No, they're in a bowl that has a name that's actually just a location. They're in the Birmingham Bowl, which I have to assume is the Chamber of Commerce of Birmingham Bowl, and not just Birmingham Bowl, because otherwise, we're in a bowl so cheap they can't even get a sponsor. It's not the Jackrabbit Sports Birmingham Bowl. It's not the Taco John Birmingham Bowl. It's just the Birmingham Bowl. Man, too many bowls. So many bowls that we're actually in one when we shouldn't probably be in one, and we don't even have a sponsor. What kind of swag are they going to get? They're not going to get anything. They're going to get like a Birmingham Chamber of Commerce keychain.
That's right. Or get like a flyer. Come to Birmingham.com.
Exactly. Poor guys. So it shouldn't really piss me off because it's been a true trend for so long, but it's too many bowls.
I hear you. I agree.
There are too many bowls.
Too
many bowls.
That system's going to have to be fixed.
That said, I can't wait for January 1st and the college football playoff.
Yay! It is about time. It's about time, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's time.
Football season's becoming bittersweet for me in many ways, though. We did lose one of our dear friends from marching band this past week.
Yeah, and that's sad.
It's very sad. It is sad. As we get older, I get more of the equal parts joy and equal parts sadness at the holidays, because and as we get more and more older, they say that people hold on for these holidays, and then right around the holidays, people will pass on. Alicia Henderson, she's now in the honor band in the sky. So I wish her family all of the best, and I will be hopefully attending the funeral memorial service next week, and I will give everyone's condolences, of course.
Very nice.
Yes, I thought that was with she actually passed with a tragedy, not.
She did.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
no, she didn't. She didn't pass. She ended up. She was a truck driver.
Okay.
So she was doing something in Syracuse, I believe. It's somewhere in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she was taking pods off of her truck, and her partner, the partner that was at the truck stop place, was helping her do that, and something happened where it essentially slipped off of the truck and onto her. And so it was a.
And was she killed instantly?
Not instant. She went on for about, I think it was like 7 or 10 days, and there was one point where her mother got her to blink, and in response to communication. But aside from that, it was a lot of pain, and I think that you try to hold on for as long as you can, and bless her. If it was me, I think I would likely fade into it as well with all the pain and everything. So yeah, it was a tragedy, but less pain now, and
Certainly.
and good memories still that I get to hold.
And that's a
Well,
big
but
one, like
it just
holding on to
reminds us
memories.
all to hold on to those that we care about and remember, and all of our time here is fleeting, so we do the very best we can with it every day that we have on this planet. So,
Yeah, agreed.
do our very
Amen,
best.
sister. Amen, brothers and sisters.
That's
Yeah.
it. Any other news that you wanted to share? There was something else I was going to say. Oh, there is a flight that is missing
yeah.
today. The Air Asia Indonesia flight QZ8501 to Singapore is still missing. That lost contact with air traffic control at 6:24 over the Java Sea. It disappeared midway in the flight, more than 2 hours from the city of Surabaya. No distress call was made. So it was flying from Indonesia to Singapore and is lost.
Yeah, unfortunately, like all indications right now is that it may be weather related, which is that's a sign. As advanced as we become, we are still, beholden to the whims of nature.
That's right.
And what she can do. I mean, if that proves to be the case of what happened, I understand other flights said there was severe turbulence in that area, widespread throughout that area. So, yeah, it is a. We are just.
We have not mastered completely the weather that we all succumb to.
My weather machine patent has not been approved yet. No. We're just at the end of the day, we're no greater than ants, and I think it puts in perspective. We need to remember that, and kind of it's not to say that we should live our life shut up, hiding in our house from Ebola or planes or what have you. But it's to again just take stock and appreciate the time we have.
It is so short. Yeah, agreed. I have a lighthearted thing to bring to the discussion.
Do it.
That'd be
Excellent.
nice.
I got a new book. It's called
Oh, yeah?
On the Tip of My Tongue. And it is
I was
by
just about to say that.
David Gentle.
Who's David Gentle?
I don't know, but I want to make sure that he gets credit because I'm not stealing your book, dude. But in it is some questions and quizzes that I thought would be fun for the show. This first one is innovations. So you've got to identify the innovations created by the individual. All right. Got the general idea? Great.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Tim Berners-Lee.
Tim Berners-Lee, the Tampa Bay Lightning. No.
No, I don't get the concept.
You don't get
here.
the concept?
What am I
did he
supposed to
invent?
do?
What did Tim Berners-Lee invent?
Tim Berners-Lee. Oh, what did he invent?
He invented the World Wide Web. No?
All right.
Yeah.
That's funny. Apparently, Tim Berners-Lee completely crashed Jeff.
Oh, dear. Yeah, sorry, Jeffrey. Well, I will, in future, it gives you some ideas of games where you can try and guess how many seven dwarves you can name versus somebody else.
Oh.
I can name all seven, I'm pretty sure.
I could probably get 5 or 6.
All right.
I'm not gonna claim I can name 7.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. In Florida, I feel like it's part of our
yeah.
card-carrying Floridians have to know. Yeah. I feel bad, Jeff. We lost you. We lost our fearless leader, our DJ at the start, the top and bottom of the hours every time that we do this. I wonder if he's going to come back in. Let's see if he'll come back in. So we got things that pissed Tom off that probably shouldn't. And then do you have any ass hats?
No, I think I'm going to let them rest for the year.
Oh, that is nice, a reprieve.
Yeah. A little forgiveness. It's a time of forgiveness. But don't worry, they'll come back strong. There's 52 weeks in 2015.
That's right.
Which means 51 opportunities to be an asshat for sure.
And the wherever fails us.
Nope. Keeps on delivering.
Keeps on delivering. And we shall keep on delivering every week as well. I don't see Jeff coming in, and Jeff usually, again, heads us out on this, but you don't have to think like me.
You don't have to think like me.
Jeff would say he don't have to think like him, and Frank would say he doesn't think. But we ask that you do, and we ask that you come and see us again next week on the Speaker's Corner.